I think this treaty is overwhelmingly symbolic. It's designed to show that Moscow is not alone in the world, despite the substantial isolation it has suffered since its big conventional invasion of Ukraine. And we all know that Korea has been critical to the Russian war effort for at least, I say, 14, even 18 months, as Moscow began to run out of especially ammunition, but also other armaments, and the Koreans stepped in. And this is just a way, again, that the visit was done, I believe, largely for Putin to claim that he's not alone, even though he's pretty much alone. They've been providing a substantial amount of ammunition, just as the Iranians, even before the North Koreans, were providing a lot of drones and missiles too. Possibly North Korea may provide some more, but they were already providing a great deal. So that's why I say there's not something seriously new here that we can see beyond the pageantry, if you like, somewhat humiliating or demeaning for Putin. North Korean, clearly a totalitarian pageantry that he was subjected to. But he was willing to do that to demonstrate he's not all by himself. Everyone knows that Russian troops are sent to their death in kamikaze waves. Now, it's true that the regime in Pyongyang is quite repressive, and the welfare of its people and soldiers is not first on its mind. So, given what they do to their own people at home, the possibility they send them to be slaughtered in a war cannot be ruled out. But certainly, it would be a very bad look for Kim if he were to permit his soldiers to die that way, because the whole world would see it. And while he does control his information space reasonably well, that word would get back to his own population. So that I think is an important reason why it probably would not happen. Korea is one of the few countries in the non-authoritarian world, in the free world, who have a arms industry producing pretty much what it needs. The United States is not producing enough. Our European allies as a collective are producing even less than we are for their needs. So South Korea would have the ability, I think, to do that. And there are reports that they've already been providing weapons to Ukraine. So I think that there's a good chance this would happen. The South Korean leadership has been very farsighted. They've been saying for months, in response to some ignorant statements made by American politicians and would-be policymakers, supposed experts, that it's critical, the defense of Taiwan, the deterrence of China from striking Taiwan, it's critical for Putin to lose in Ukraine. And they have acted on that insight. So yes, I think if North Korea were to greatly increase its already substantial aid to Russia in this war, South Korea is likely to provide far more to Ukraine. I understand, but the origin of this is not just the aggressiveness of the Kremlin. North Korea has always been aggressive, that's been understood. But the aggressiveness of China and the unsteadiness of American leadership. The Biden team has provided an adequate policy to deal with Moscow's war on Ukraine, but not a strong policy. And the same equivocation we see in sending weapons to Ukraine from Washington, allowing Ukraine to use our weapons in Russia, because we put many restrictions on their use of our weapons in Russia. The same hesitation we see in truly stopping the Houthi attack on shipping in the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. Our hesitancy in going after Iran as its proxies killed American soldiers in the Middle East have suggested real weakness. And if the United States is not strong, then South Korea absolutely positively needs its own nuclear weapons. And the let's say, the peculiarities of statements coming from senior officials or senior people near Trump about, it doesn't matter if Moscow takes Ukraine, which is simply ignorance, and also no one, either Republican or Democrat, addressing the need to greatly increase American arms productions. It's understandable why, again, leaders in Seoul or in Tokyo or in Warsaw would be worried about American steadiness, because American strength and American power have been critical to global security and global peace since the end of World War II. And that is very much a question mark, whether it's the timidity of the Biden team or the unpredictability of the Trump team. I agree that it's critical for American security, and of course, even more critical for South Korean security, for the United States to take a clear, new, strong step, underscoring our determination to make sure that South Korea is protected from aggression. And the senator's suggestion about tactical nukes, I think, is a sound one. There may be other ways to do that. In terms of the presence of the American Navy and the American Air Force in and around and above South Korea. So I would leave that to the military experts to come up with the exact step, but something like that, including tactical nukes, certainly makes sense.